Guitars for me are like Super Bowl rings for Tom Brady. My wife will ask me, Paul, are you done? And I'll say, I'm done when I get the next one. I don't know if you know any musicians in your life, but let me tell you, we got a problem. And it all started with me, with my grandfather's guitar. I was so excited. I was a little kid, and there was something about music that connected me. It connected me in this way to the world that I didn't understand. I didn't know how to explain it. I didn't know how to share it. I just knew that it was something truly spectacular that I was connected with. The first time I strummed on my grandfather's guitar, and that guitar is right there. There it is. You see, my grandfather gave me this Fender guitar. It's a 3/4 guitar, acoustic guitar, and I was like 5 or 6 years old when he gave it to me. And the saddest thing is that, um, my mother uh, took it from me. She took it from me when I was, I don't know, 6.5, 7 years old, right after my grandfather gave her for me. And she said it was because my fingers were too small, my hands were too small to use it. But the diabolical thing about my mother was that anything that I loved, anything that I enjoyed more than her, she felt, it would disappear. Things that were important to me that I liked disappear. T-shirts that I like disappear. So I learned not to like anything. But I remember when I was in the trailer park, I had this guitar. And then when we moved into the house, I hadn't seen it for years. And music and making music and writing songs and busking has become a huge part of my life as a person. And that little kid that didn't understand what a guitar was, but he just understood he loved it and it resonated with him. Um, for many years, didn't get to play because of my understanding now, looking back on it, is just that my mother, she saw things that I loved and she took them away from me. And I ended up finding that little guitar. I found that guitar and I was, I don't know, 8, 9 years old. And we were living in the house at the time and we're never allowed in mom and dad's room. But I was suspicious because I looked everywhere else and I couldn't find it. And I went in their room and I went under the bed, and there it was. My gift from my grandfather to me. And that guitar never left my side again. Like I said, still got a little red fender back there. Still have it to this day. I'm very excited to pass it down to my daughter if she takes a serious interest in music. Um, if she doesn't, and I have another kid, maybe they'll take a serious interest in guitar, and I'll pass it down to them. But she gets first dibs, first bowing. Anyways, I remember the second that I found that thing, it never left my side. It never left my sight. I would sleep with that guitar under my arm for years and years. And I couldn't even tell you how long. I slept with guitars in my bed because I didn't want them to be taken. And my mom had her attempts. And, you know, I didn't get lessons until I was older. Till I was like in my teen years. And so I was probably miserably awful at playing guitar. I mean, maybe even astonishingly awful, to be honest. And my parents, um, would say things that were super cruel to me. In my estimation now as being an adult, like, I'm gonna take that racket outside and can't you just play a song and all these different types of things where I'm just trying to do what I love and learn this thing, this beast that I don't understand without any help. And I ended up, I ended up starting to take it outside because I was like, if these people don't want to hear me inside, I'm going outside. And that started this whole process of my life of hiding my gift with music. And I'd go out into the farmer's field and I'd sing there and sit there with my guitar and I would play for out from dawn till dusk. And I would have big problems come wintertime. So wintertime meant cold and there was nowhere to go outside that was warm. And I would literally go outside to the garage, which is about a maybe 50-foot walk from the porch. And I get in the garage and I would play guitar regardless of temperature out there in the middle of winter until my fingers wouldn't move anymore. It's usually about 15 to 25 minutes. And then I'd come back inside and I'd go back outside and play guitar until my fingers couldn't move anymore. And this was a process for years and years of my life that I did every winter. Because up here in upstate New York, we get cold, man. And I didn't realize this until I was pondering making this video. But I've been hiding my musical gift from the world for most of my life. I will play at my church and do different things, but man, I got records that are finished and records that are unfinished. Maybe, I don't know, 150 songs that are just sitting here, collecting uh, internet molecules. I don't know, whatever internet dust is, cyber dust. And I didn't realize until I was thinking about this video that really, like, that part of me, my love for music, is still locked away in that garage. And back there, I made this commitment. If they don't want to hear me, nobody in the world wants to hear me. And I thought I had cleaned that up. But the reality is, if I had, I'd be pushing my music and my records because I love making music. I love it. And I think that being so focused on the approval of other people and my parents and being seen um, has kind of left all that dormant because I've been across the years of my life, I have been that little kid out there playing guitar in negative 20 degrees at 9:30 at night, all alone. And that kid, I was just imagine being that kid at 9 years old, 10 years old, strumming and playing that guitar and trying to figure it out, feeling like nobody ever wants to listen, nobody ever wants to hear me. I am unseen. And as I progressed the guitar, I got decent and I put so much time into it. When I found metal, oh my goodness. I had a place I could take my rage and hatred and resentment and I could put it into the guitar and have it come those emotions come through the guitar. It was fantastic. What I really didn't realize I was doing through playing that style of music was further isolating myself from my gift and from my passion, my love of making songs. I started playing in the worship band at church when I was a kid, and let me tell you, that was a disaster for me because now I was the one in front of the room with all the power and the control and hey mom and dad look at me. That that thing was a drug, man. Like realizing like when I play guitar and I'm in front of a room, people pay attention to me. I'm important. This is my identity now. I latched onto that poison like I don't know. I guess it'd be like a fly on a frog latching onto a fly, man, or a Venus flytrap or something that's destructive. I just took that approval and that became my continual desire to be on stage, to be in front of people, to be seen. I wanted to be part of the music scene, SEEN. And somewhere along the way, that little kid just kept hiding himself, man. That kid that was out there in that garage. And I'd be, making records in Boston and making albums here, there, and everywhere and writing tunes. And I would, I'd hide all of it. I got it over here, right over here in the closet here. I got all my CDs. I wouldn't do shows. I wouldn't sell anything because I was still that little kid out in that garage, man, afraid to be seen by the world because if my parents rejected me, what's the world going to have to say? That's a really really hard thing that I've had to come to terms with in my life. And since having a kid and working like a lunatic the last multiple years in sales and doing all this madness to be able to get pieces of paper with dead men on them, I've lost so much time just putting things out. I mean, for me, that's part of what this YouTube channel is all about and what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. I'm just going to send it. I'm just going to make videos, I'm going to make content, and I'm going to put it on the internet. And I'm I'm going to let the outcomes be the outcomes. And that's a place I'm going to get to with my music too. At some point here, I'm going to throw a music channel up and just throw all my music on it, record after record, song after song, because I love it. I love it. I love writing songs. I love making something that's completely unique and divine that connects with people. There's nothing like it. And if you're a musician out there, you get what I'm talking about. The essence of experience, the emotional ecstasy of music. There's no greater thing on the planet for me that I connect to. I have always wanted to have my career be music. And I don't know, maybe someday it will, maybe someday it won't. But I know now that life is about just doing things. I don't need any more prep work. I got records. Just put them out on the internet. Make it go. See what happens. I think that's very similar to what I'm doing with the YouTube channel. I'm not going to edit anything. I'm not doing an intro. I'm not doing an outro. I'm just going to be myself and tell my stories. And then once I'm through the stories I've grown up with, at that point, I'm going to go ahead and tell you all of the wisdom that I've gained from these stories. And then after that, I'm going to share an absurd amount of music with the world. Because I'm finally at a place in my life where looking into this camera and whoever's looking back, it doesn't matter to me anymore if approved of or disapproved of. I'm okay with me being me. I wake up me in the morning, I go to bed me at night. I'm the same exact person. I don't have a facade anymore. I don't have a fake nature anymore. I'm just me. And this video has taught me that I need to embrace that idea with music too. And that it's okay to just be me. And if I get 15 clicks, who cares? I'm going to do it anyway because that's me. If I get somebody to like my song or not like my song, what are they really saying? It used to be they were saying, I don't like you, Paul, because I don't like your music. That's what I experienced what they're saying. Now, what I hear them saying is, Paul, this isn't my style. And I think that's the conundrum of being stuck with a dream for so long. Is it's the phrases that we tell ourselves about the limitation of our capacity, or about the perception of other people, or about what we're going to be viewed as. And I'm 41 years old, and I have spent so much of my life already in hiding because I'm subconsciously completely frozen from action. And if that's you, if there's anything I could say, is I hope that I'm finding you and I'm sharing this with you when you're young. Because life is never going to give you your time back. And the opportunities that are in front of your life for whatever you want to do are only going to be there for a window. Because time itself is trying to achieve things through people. And it's super important to be courageous enough to just be yourself. I don't have to be anything other than me. I am that I am. That principle changed my life. Understanding what that meant. That this is me. And if I'm accepted, if I'm rejected, if I'm approved of, if I'm disapproved of, all of those things are really an external force. And the pursuit of the validation of that external thing is also the pursuit of invalidation. If it can validate me, it can invalidate me. I no longer pursue things because of validation. I pursue things because I am compelled to. Like, I am compelled to make these YouTube videos. I feel like I have to share what I've experienced with the world because my hope is it would find somebody someday where they are at, and it would encourage them to go all in on themselves and believe in themselves and be willing to do whatever it takes to eliminate all the noise that's trying to convince you of what you are and become who you are. You see that? What you are versus who you are. Two very, 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 very different things. There's a big misunderstanding of what you are versus who you are. Who you are is the divine being that you have been gifted the very life in your lungs to be. What you are is what every circumstance of your life tells you you are. And as much as I'm saying this to the camera right now, I'm saying this to myself too. The truth is, being I am what I am is the essence of the divine part of humanity itself. Be in the pursuit of who you are. You are enough. You are valuable. And if that produces pieces of paper with dead men on them, or it doesn't, so be it. So be it. I am going to spend the rest of my later years of my life being in the pursuit of who I am. Not what I was created to be, but who I've discovered through decades of work, getting back to the person that is me. And I hope that for so many people in the world. You see these people that have unbelievable gifts and talents, and you witness the critical nature of those around them just suck and destroy that. It is truly sad. And I was that person for some time in my life, and I've had that done to me by other people for some time of my life. However, I now feel convinced so strongly in what I am and who I am and what I have to serve the world with that I'll be making videos all the days of my life. And there is nothing that can stop me. Not even success. Not even failure. Because those are no longer the things that I'm looking for. I'm looking to serve mankind. And I hope that this finds somebody who's questioning what their gifting is or what they're here to do or what all these phrases and all these words that were spoken over your life mean. I hope this finds you well and that you would have the courage to choose you over who you were told to be, to choose who you are instead of who you were told to be.